Well, hello, my name is David Burke. I've spent the last 40 years as a community independent pharmacist. And my friend, Dr. Debi Lynes, and I decided it'd be a great idea to come up with a podcast to disseminate healthy information. We're calling it Mind Your Health.
There you go. I'm really excited about that. My background is that I started as an interior designer and then went into the psychology of spaces and places. Always been interested in medicine and how health and wellness really play into your life and living. And I know your background is rich and deep too in the medicine piece of it.
So I think we're going to make a great pair. I bring on my side the traditional medicine of treatment and pharmacy,
yes,
where your therapy in more of a holistic that I would love to learn more about.
And I think that's what we've learned about healthy living. Healthy living looks like a lot of different things, and our goal is to incorporate those things in this podcast style show. We're going to do that creatively, we hope, with 4 different elements. We're going to do mind, muscle, mouth, and medicine. Mind is going to be sleep. It's going to be talking about anxiety, depression, how our mind actually affects our body from a nervous system, how our brain activates everything. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I see at the store or through my patient base so much with depression and sleep issues.
Oh,
it's huge in this country.
I think it really is, and I see it with all ages. I know young kids are even struggling with sleep at this point, and that makes a lot of sense. Muscle, that's going right to you.
So near and dear to my heart, I just recently had a hip replacement and realized how tight my core and my I don't want to say lack of exercise, but my agility and mobility. So we're both going to get on the ground and stretch out and see how we do.
Exactly, and every week we're going to have something different as it relates to the muscles of the body and how it correlates again with our mind. Third, mind, muscle, mouth. We're going to talk a lot about nutrition, and I know that's really your area right now. We're going to have amazing people who are going to talk to us about fine food and how healthy eating actually plays into healthy living.
So one of the things I've been looking at too is food as medicine, and it makes perfect sense when you think about it. If you are bringing in healthy things, you'll be healthier. If you unfortunately choose unhealthy food and nutrition items, that outcome may not be as good as you expect. So how can we balance with good nutrition, healthy nutrition, and then a healthier life?
And again, tying it in to your brain and your mind, sometimes food is also comfort. And so we're gonna really do a deep dive into food and nutrition and all the things that it can really do for your health and wellness. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about medicine. And we're really excited about this because I think this can be intimidating for a lot of people.
So it's the whole gamut.
Right.
But what I'm most concerned about or excited about is prevention.
Okay.
Using medicine to prevent issues down the road, whether either to make you healthier now so that you can get back to work, so you can exercise, so you can live a long life, not just necessarily treatment. And certainly we'll talk about treatment.
Absolutely.
But prevention, I think, is part of the key. And as far as overall healthy living.
Exactly. And when we talk about medicine, we think about substances or pharmacologic things, but medicine is also sleep. Medicine is also nutrition. We're going to talk to a lot of docs, and we're going to talk about some of the new practices. And we're hoping anyway to really inform our viewers about things that they may have had questions on and didn't know where to find the answers to. So that's really the goal of this entire podcast style show. Again, we're hoping to include all of you. And why this audience in particular? Because we're looking for curious, educated people who want to know more, who are concerned about their families, who get a lot of misinformation, and we feel like we're going to bring a really interesting perspective to all of that.
Are you saying not everything on the internet is true?
I'm saying no, but it's nice when you have 2 professionals who can actually guide you in what to believe and what to listen to. And before we leave, I want to say this. I shared a little bit about my background. You've been in this business for 40 years. We're going to bring a lot of experienced people. So join us, please, on Mind Your Health.
Hi, welcome again to Mind Your Health. Today I'm joined by Dr. Debi Lynes, and a subject near and dear to my heart is sleep.
And you get to ask me about sleep now, too. We were talking about it a lot before we even started the segment. And one of the things that you made reference to is at the pharmacy, and as a pharmacist, sleep is something that comes up for you all the time.
Almost every single day. And it ranges from over-the-counter sleep medicine to prescription sleep medicine to non-pharmaceutical treatment for sleep. Music at nighttime, getting off of social media, all those things are all tied together.
And I love to talk about it when we're talking about the mind and we're talking about sleep, because it's really interesting, David. Sleep is free, natural, it improves your cognitive abilities, it can help you lose weight, it can cure depression. It can do a lot of things if we just learn to manage it. And there are so many ways that we can learn to manage it. I think the easiest thing, we hear sleep hygiene all the time, but it's very easy to say sleep hygiene and very difficult for people to actually manage their sleep hygiene. And I tell people all the time, probably the easiest things to do, number one, 67 degrees. Everyone's looking at me like, what?
That's cold.
It's cold, but we have to lower our body temperature 3 degrees at night to get cognitive restoration and really get a good night's sleep, number one. So if we can lower that and then raise it in the morning, that's probably the best thing. Dark room, and of course any more with blue lights and lights. It was funny, I was looking the other day before we were coming to do this, and I had no idea how much light was coming from different places in my room. And as I'm talking about sleep hygiene, I'm like, gosh, there are places I can really make improvements too. The third thing is making your room and your bed for sleep and snuggle only. And I think a lot of us, and I'm guilty of that too, I read in bed, I may scroll social media, I play Wordle in bed. You know, there are many things that I do. How about you? Are you good about your sleep hygiene?
I am, actually, because standing all day and working still at my tender young age, I'm exhausted by the end of the day.
Okay.
So when I crawl into bed, I go to sleep fairly quickly, and I'm good for a good 7-8 hours, depending on the day.
Good for you. Yes. One of the things when people say they struggle with sleep, and we'll do a couple of segments on this so we can really do a deep dive, is the most important thing for sleep, again, if we're talking about hygiene, is get up at the same time every day, within an hour. Because I know a lot of kids, I've got teenagers, I've got grandkids, and I know that they'll go to bed at 2 in the morning and they'll get up at 11 at night, or 11 in the morning. Go to bed at 2 in the morning, get up at 11 in the morning. But my suggestion is go ahead and get up at their regular time at 8 o'clock. Build that sleep pressure. That's a great way to stay on that circadian rhythm and get your sleep. If you miss an hour or two, you go to bed later, don't worry about it. The next day you'll make it up. And naps, 20-minute power naps are pretty great. But anything longer than that, for most people, most of the time, I probably don't recommend.
Well, I think part of the key there too is understanding where you are in life with your circadian rhythm.
Okay, that's fair.
Because it does change.
Yes.
You know, teenagers absolutely need that late morning, but then again, they can stay up until midnight, 1. It changes in life. I can't do. I'm a 10 o'clock man. I can't do 1 o'clock in the morning, but I can get up at 5 or 6. So it changes in life. You need to understand to live within your lane of where you are in life.
Correct. And you know, one of the things that we're talking about also is, why can't we sleep? What is it about our lifestyles that aren't conducive to sleep? One interesting fun fact is, it used to be that the successful guy was there at 7 in the morning and didn't leave until 7 at night. Now companies are incentivizing people who can describe if they're an owl or if they are a lark, and they say, hey, come in the morning at 7, go home at 3. If you're an owl, come in at 11, go home at 7. And companies are really much more aware of sleep patterns and are much more willing to work with people. And consequently, people are getting the sleep that they need for their own biological cells. And that comes from hunter-gatherer evolution, where some people slept to keep, and some people went out to keep people safe. So it's really evolutionary. The owl and the lark is what I'm trying to get out. So sleep is something that's a lot of fun to talk about.
It's also interesting, they don't know why you sleep. Your body is just as active, your muscles are moving, your brain is just as active. But if you don't sleep and you don't sleep well, your overall health goes down.
And I want to say we do know why we're sleeping. We sleep for 2 reasons. We sleep to physically restore our bodies. We sleep to cognitively restore our brains. And anything under 4.5 hours of sleep, that will not happen. After 4.5 hours of sleep, we're good to go. Anything else is a bonus. We'll talk more about that another time. Please mind your health. Welcome to Mind Your Health. David Burke, I am super excited for you to introduce our guest today, and we're going to be talking about mobility. I love this.
So topic for today is CPAP. And not only am I interested, I'm a CPAP user.
Oh, a testimonial case. I love this.
I like to introduce my good friend Bryan Stewart, who's an expert at CPAPs.
So I just have some basic questions for both of you, since I have you both corralled right now. And let's talk a little bit about CPAPs, who uses CPAPs and what they're used for.
Pretty much 80% of any adult is going to have or be affected by some sort of sleep apnea.
Okay.
Anybody that's waking up fatigued, you're driving down the road, you're at a stop sign, you're doing the whole head bobble, you're more than likely not getting enough sleep. So anybody that's affected by fatigue in that manner.
And let's talk about about sleep apnea, if we will.
Yeah, so it's funny though, because like I said, I'm a CPAP user, but I was never apneic. I never stopped breathing. I was just a heavy snorer.
Okay.
I had really bad allergies as a kid. I had sinus films done, very congested. So I never stopped breathing, but I was just gasping for air. CPAP has made such a difference because I never woke up tired.
Right.
But I never got deep, restful REM sleep.
And Bryan, it's so funny that we're all sort of interested in this. I do a lot with sleep and do a lot with cognitive behavioral sleep for insomnia. And I know, and what I've learned is that people can die.
Absolutely.
Okay, if their sleep is disrupted and they don't get enough oxygen in.
Yeah, sleep affects every single part of your life, every single day.
Talk to us about what you brought today, because we love a good product demonstration.
Yep.
This is amazing.
So a lot of times people come into the pharmacy and, they're almost nervous to get set up. They've heard the horror stories of old-time CPAP machines. It's just a lot of pressure. It's a lot of air. It's very uncomfortable. In the past decade, CPAP has come so far. Normally when you would set up an old machine, it would be 1 set pressure, and no matter how you breathe, that's how you get your pressure, your therapy delivered. These new machines like the ResMed S11 and the Travel Air Mini, they're auto titrating. Travel.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the smallest CPAP on the market now. Both this one, the Air Mini, and the ResMed S11, they're auto titrating devices.
Auto titrating meaning?
Yes, so like the old ones, you set 1 pressure, let's say 16. Doesn't matter if you take a shallow breath or a deep breath, you're getting that set pressure. These new machines actually auto titrate or change to your breathing habit.
It knows how you breathe.
I love,
It only pushes out on inspiration.
Right.
Before I had one, it was like turning the vacuum cleaner inside out. Right. It's gentle, soft.
These new machines,
on inspiration.
Yeah, the new machines will only give you what your body demands between 2 certain pressures versus just 1.
Wow. From what I understand, people are intimidated by CPAP machines. Like you said, they have this negative connotation, but no.
Right. It's the old-time machines that were very uncomfortable. It was a lot of pressure. You felt very bloated when you woke up in the morning because of the therapy settings. These new machines eliminate pretty much all of that. It's a lot more comfortable, and even the new machines have EPR EPR. And that allows you to not only get the air in on your therapy, but also allows you to exhale without that back pressure of being on a CPAP machine.
Who are you using? What are the...
We use ResMed. So ResMed is the nation's #1 provider of CPAP across the country.
Okay.
They've got auto-titrating CPAP machines. They've got the smallest, most reliable travel unit, and they've got everything up to home ventilators as well.
Now, I know you're not a clinician, but again, when I come and I use these, is there a point of contact or service people or people who can kind of talk me through the process? Because I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be, not scared, apprehensive.
So at Burke's, we offer full setups. I'll take you into a back office. I will have the machine set up to whatever your physician has ordered. All of the prescriptions and the settings has to come from your physician. After I have that order, I can set up the machine to what your doctor wants. And then we'll try on different masks for comfortability. We'll go through the entire device. That way when you go home, all you have to do is plug it in and sleep.
Talk to me about...
I was going to say about options.
Okay.
So some people use the
masks. That's just what I was going to ask.
I use the little air pillow because some people are like, I can't have anything on my head. Either runs the gamut of how you do. Because I slept on my on my belly on my side, and this changes you to a back sleeper. But I can do back and side with no problem with the mask or with the hose on.
So really what I hear from you and what I hear from you is don't be intimidated by CPAP machines. Embrace it, love it, change your life, and mind your health.
That's right.
All right, welcome again to Mind Your Health. Today, Dr. Debi and I are joined by Heather Quinn, who's going to talk a little difference about health in a healthy home and how some of the technologies of today can help you live a healthier life.
And we've been laughing about it because, why us? Why listen to this? Well, I was an interior designer before I was a psychologist and studied health and wellness and spaces and places. And we're going to tie it together along with you being a pharmacist and medicine. Because Heather, thank you for letting us in your home and showing us some beautiful spaces. They are certainly lovely. You've got 3 little girls. Talk to us a little bit about safety and security in your home and some of the things that you all incorporated as safety features.
Sure. I think one of the main things that we incorporated was the HVAC system and the thermostat that we use. It has 3 buttons that can, just with one push, call 911 or the ambulance or just any help. And so as long as that's on, it's just an easy button to push.
And who knew? One of the other things that you have are motion sensors. And what do you use those for? And then we're going to talk about, from a medicine standpoint, what you can use those for.
So we use them currently mainly for security. And they will detect motion. You can set them up to have timers to detect less motion or more motion throughout the day and the evening.
How did that work with your kids? Why was that important for them? If they got out of bed or?
Yes, so we have stairs, lots of stairs in this house. So we were worried specifically with the younger ones crawling out of cribs. And so in the middle of the night, going down the stairs, you can detect if there's motion there.
I mean, that makes so much sense. And one of the things that you and Bryan were sharing with David and I when we were chatting, reminders for things like medicine. Why is that so important?
Absolutely true, but I want to go last point too on it's also the lack of motion.
Sure.
Oh.
So you can set it up, God forbid, you fall on the ground or on the floor and you can't get up, then the motion detector is going to know, hey, you're home, but there's no motion. And it will automatically call EMS.
Oh, see, that's so cool.
So you can customize a lot of these smart home systems to integrate with your family how they are now. And so when you're talking about just young families or aging in place, like you were saying, you can do it for too much motion or lack of motion.
Or I would like to, what you're saying with dialing the timers on the alarm system.
Yeah, this is
where you
great.
can just have it chirp. So I have a patient right now that has trouble taking her evening meds.
Yeah.
She gets busy, they're making dinner, whatever, and then going to bed. She keeps forgetting to take that nighttime medicine. You can program the house to have the fire alarm chirp on a specific cabinet, open up that cabinet, so that it's going to know that you opened that cabinet to take your medicine.
And these are things that are readily available, right?
Yes. So like Bryan was talking to you all earlier, a lot of this technology has been around for a long time, and now they're just starting to integrate it into homes everywhere. And I know sometimes technology can seem intimidating, but it's kind of already there in a lot of homes.
When I ask you some of the things that you felt were really important, water filtering.
Yes.
Talk to us about that.
Well, water filtering, so we have a water filtration system on our home. So all of, you can just drink right out of the faucet.
Right.
I'm a tap water drinker anyway. So I also like that, we have water bottles around, but it really reduces the amount of water bottles we're using. And then you just don't have to worry about it.
And one of the things that's really cool, and anybody can do at any time, is when you're renovating or you're building a home, you can do things to prepare your home in case of an emergency.
Yes.
And you and I talk about this all the time, and that is everything from putting a block of wood behind your toilet paper holder, so that you can use it as a grab bar. Because so right now, a lot of that, you grab onto that and it will pull right out of the wall.
Sure.
But that's something that you all taught us.
And then even on like a higher level, I know in a lot of the homes that we build for younger families, if it's in the low country and it's a multi-story home, maybe they're not ready for the elevator, but we go ahead and just build the elevator shaft in as like a closet. So then down the road, if you're still in your home as you're aging or for whatever reason, you can add the elevator later. And we highly encourage that, especially in the low country.
I mean, it makes so much sense, and it never hurts to mind your health.
Well, hello again. I'm David Burke, a pharmacist. I'm here with my dear friend, Dr. Debi Lynes, and we're joined today by Cinda Seamon. And today's topic is CPR, emergency training, what should you do in an emergency to help save a life.
And I think that makes so much sense. We're excited to have you today. And during the break, you told us one sentence, do something. Talk to us.
Do something. We know if you don't do anything, we know what the outcome will be. So do something, and it should start with knowing how to call 911, and you might think, what?
Yeah.
But some of the new phones, or you just get a new phone and you're not sure how it works, make sure you know how to go to that screen where you call 911.
You've often said that 911 can be your own personal coach.
Exactly right. Put that on speakerphone.
Okay.
There's your own personal coach. They're going to ask you questions. Are they breathing normally, or something about bleeding, or what was the mode of injury, what actually happened? And they can start to guide you through the process of what to do until help arrives. You also have your hands free because you're talking for the speakerphone. Anybody else in the room might be able to add additional information. Oh, I know that person's medical history. I can help with that. So think of it as your own personal coach. When they coach you with CPR, they'll also have a metronome in the background to help you keep your timing. So there's so much that dispatch can do. They're trained for that. Use that resource.
CPR is not what it used to be.
Not at all.
It's really shifted and changed. And one of the things I know that we're here to do is really encourage people to take a CPR class. In our audience, we've got young people as well as parents. And I think, is it important for kids to kind of have an idea about 911 too?
Oh, sure. Everybody. And you're right. CPR has changed so much. It's very much streamlined now. We teach American Heart Association. So much easier, so many less steps to get to the point of doing CPR. There used to be so many steps, it was confusing.
Right, it was
people thought they
scary.
wouldn't make it there.
Right.
Now, we really talk to people after class. How do you feel about it? Everyone's like, I would do that.
Okay.
I would do it now.
Oh.
And we do have a lot of young kids going into babysitting and stuff who will take it. Of course, high school kids have to take it.
That makes sense.
So many people now are jumping on board. We have so many bystander saves because that time between someone calling 911 and fire rescue arriving, what do you do with that 4, 5, 6 minutes in between? That's what makes the difference.
Can I ask a quick question? It's so funny because wherever I'm at, if I'm shopping or at a restaurant or something like that, and I see something, my first instinct is to go, but I step back. Talk to us about what's the right approach? What do you do?
Well, you probably step back because you don't know what to do. I'm guessing. We talk to people in our classes about what can you do. You can go meet us in the driveway. Bring the engine in, the ambulance in. Come on, follow me. We're upstairs on the second floor.
Okay.
You can console the family. You can sit with the family and do something. You can call 911. You can start CPR.
Okay.
So probably you weren't comfortable on what you should do.
Makes
And we
sense.
talk about that in class and give everybody a job. If you
Okay.
don't feel comfortable doing CPR, here's some other things you can do. And I think, knowledge is power.
Sure.
Now, I know I can do this. I can at least go sit with the family. I can at least run out and tell the engine and the ambulance where to bring the stretcher. So people start to get empowered during class, and that's what we love.
I also heard it's important to name a particular person. Like, hey, you, Joe, you go call 911. Instead of somebody call 911, somebody call 911.
Okay.
Exactly. You don't know
Identifying
that's
one particular
exactly.
person.
And as soon as they give you the acknowledgement of got it, you're good. But if they just kind of give you a blank stare and they don't know, they might freeze up. They might not know what to do. When there's an emergency, your adrenaline's up and you don't really know how you'll react. So that's a good point is, make sure that person acknowledges you and said, I have it. I got this.
I mean, that makes so much sense. So someone collapses or you're walking by and you see someone go down. What is the first thing you say to people?
As far as I think our natural instinct is to run over to the patient and say, are you okay? What happened?
Okay.
Someone may respond to you and say, oh my gosh, I tripped, or,
Right.
Gee, I don't feel good, or they may not respond at all. So the very first thing is, I think our natural response is to go over and see what's happening.
Makes
and then
sense.
let's get 911 on right away, because obviously something has happened. Whether it's a fall, whether it's a diabetic event, a cardiac event, whatever it is, let's get 911 on the way. Work with dispatch till help arrives.
In the classes that you offer, how long do they take? Is it?
It's a 3-hour class, and we do adult, infant, child choking, and AED, which is the automated external defibrillator. And they are free. Our classes are free. We have nights, we have weekends, we have mornings. So we try to offer a variety of times to work with people's work schedules.
And my assumption is no matter where you are, whether you're in the low country, whether you're on the West Coast, there are also classes that are available. And the bottom line and the takeaway for us today is don't just stand by.
That's right.
Do
something.
something.
Exactly.
Always to mind your health. David, today we're going to mind our health with my friend Ryan Fennessey from Sprout Mommas.
Yep, in the
Welcome,
house.
welcome.
Thank you.
I'm super excited for you to come here today and to share some of your magic with David. One of the things that he is inspired about, and you said it, is food and nutrition, how what we put in our bodies can really affect our overall health and well-being. So one of the things that inspires me with Sprout Mommas is how you can create these amazing dishes that really they are, and they're
Making me blush
delicious.
over here.
Yeah, they're delicious. What are we making today?
Today we're going to do a sprouted garbanzo bean falafel. So it's in kind of Middle Eastern spices, lots of fresh herbs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super good for the gut health, and all the fresh herbs are really get a lot of antioxidants.
So what does falafel mean? See, I said it right.
I know, I
I've
like
been
it.
practicing falafel.
What does it mean?
What is it?
Oh,
What
it's
is it?
a chickpea fritter, basically.
Okay.
Fresh herbs, you grind the chickpeas down, a touch of flour, spices. They fry up real nice. It's like street food, but healthy street food, I guess. is
A
what I'm
street
trying to say.
food. Kids would enjoy it too.
Oh, absolutely. My
We've got
kids eat it at home.
Do they love
oh,
it
yeah.
too? All right, show us your
All right,
magic.
it's real simple, okay? So,
Part of the key is so it's healthy and delicious. I mean, that's
Correct.
You can get healthy and sometimes not so much.
if you can get the kids to eat it, it must be all right.
There you go.
Yeah.
The whole trick that makes it super healthy is sprouting the garbanzo beans. So we sprout them for 2 days in cold water, and they'll start to grow a little bit of a tail there on the end.
Oh,
You can see that.
who knew?
Okay, so basically, the short story, it's going to digest like a plant in your body as opposed to any starch.
Oh,
Okay.
and these are garbanzo beans, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And is this a glorified food processor
This
here?
is a
or-
Mac Daddy food processor, yes, sir.
So I don't have that machine, I can do it with my food processor.
Oh, yeah, you can do it at home for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create recipes and things that you
Okay.
actually can do at home.
Yeah, for sure. So you take the chickpeas and you take the onions. So it's 1 onion to a quart of chickpeas. Okay. Then you're going to do, this is roasted garlic with just a little bit of good cold pressed olive oil.
I just want to smell it.
Oh, please, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do that. The spice mix here, it's chili flake, cumin, coriander, and just a little bit of salt and pepper in there.
Okay.
Okay. Then we're going to take all these fresh herbs. So we've got cilantro. So you're going to do...
And we can grow some of these herbs at home.
Oh, absolutely. And put the stems and everything in there.
Really?
And grind it up, and then it's actually, the stems have a ton of health benefits in them. A lot of hydration and a lot of good for gut flora health and stuff like that. So
There's people that say, I don't like the taste of cilantro. Can you substitute any kind of greens?
Absolutely. I've done it with basil. You can put mint in it.
That would be good too.
This is just our everyday. We sell it at the restaurant. We do it a lot for catering. We serve them as traditional, like fritters,
Yes.
which you'll see in a minute.
Okay.
But like my stepfather is vegan, so we've adapted a lot of recipes that way. So you can do them as a wrap. You can do them as patties and do vegan hamburgers. You can do them small, put them on pizzas. So it's pretty versatile, you know.
It's amazing how delicious these things are. If you
Right,
just...
and healthy doesn't mean that, you know, it doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
You know, this has got great flavor, great texture, and it's good for you, you know.
And versatile. You can
Well, that's
put it
what I
on
like.
so much, yeah.
And like you said, people who may not like cilantro can do basil or parsley,
Right.
flat leaf parsley there that
This
you've
is
got.
parsley that's about to go in as well. You just got to kind of let it do its thing here.
Ooh, I love this.
Okay.
What is that?
That's just a touch of organic flour, and we put a little bit of
Flat leaf?
baking powder. So that'll just kind of, that helps the get the outside real crispy without having to bread it in anything. So you don't have to add like a breader or a breadcrumb to it. It just naturally gets really nice and crispy on the outside and really tender in the middle.
Well, I don't know about you, but my tummy is growling, and we've got about 35 seconds
Let's
left.
put it on the plate.
Can we
then.
put it on the plate,
Yes,
sir?
we can. So what we do at the restaurant, I'll do it real quick here.
And we're going to give you a little more time here because we don't want to miss any
Oh
deliciousness.
no, I'm good under.
You're working
I'm
at
good
it.
under pressure.
You're a chef. You can do this.
Yes, I
exactly.
can do this for sure.
Ooh, look at all
All
this.
right, so
Ooh.
what we do
I know,
here.
I'm dying to do this, but you're
Yeah,
still.
yeah,
I know,
no fingers-
I
no
know,
fingers in the food.
I know, I see.
Should have listened to my mother. She said to take all the lids off, and I
well,
didn't.
whatever.
So,
Mine's
all right. So real simple here. This is what they look like after we fry them. Okay, just in good clear oil.
Once your thing's done, do you put it in the refrigerator to cool it down to help it come together?
Yeah. After this is done,
Okay.
I usually let it sit, and it'll kind of, you know,
Gotcha.
get
All right.
itself
Excuse
ready
me,
to
do
go.
you cook?
Telling you what, this is just
A Renaissance man.
This is just a roasted red pepper sauce we make at the restaurant.
Okay.
Real simple. Maybe the next time we can make that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it's super healthy. Lots of fresh vegetables
Ooh, that
and
looks
herbs.
good.
Okay, so we do that. We do a little bit of this pico de gallo we make at the restaurant. Also just really fresh, really crisp. Okay, then we're gonna place our falafels here.
Oh my gosh, those look
gonna
so
do it.
good.
Let's just do two, should
Look
be
at these.
enough. And then we're gonna make just a real quick salad. There's a little salt and pepper in these citrus greens.
Yes, we're going to
Okay.
have you show this too.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Then we take these limes and we char them on the wood fire. Add a little bit of that, just for a little bit more freshness on top.
Were you always a foodie?
I didn't have a chance. I was born in the restaurant business, so yeah. My parents owned restaurants since I was not even on this earth. So
Oh my God,
that's all I
Ryan,
know.
you are amazing.
Looks beautiful.
Look at this. We're going to hold it
thank
up
you.
and
Yep.
bon appetit.
Yep. So there's your falafel fritter right there.
Look at this. What a wonderful way to mind your health.
That's right.
David, today was absolutely amazing here on Mind Your Health. I'd like to kind of do a debrief about everything we learned today. I can already tell what you learned. We just made delicious falafel, and you are still enjoying those.
I am.
Yes, it was move them over a little off camera and save them for me. And talking about health and nutrition and things we put into our bodies. Loved that.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is learning more about what's available to help you and then taking advantage of it.
Exactly. And I feel really fortunate to be able to do this with David. You are a pharmacist. You've been in the medical field for how many years now?
Almost 40. I got 39. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm a psychologist, and I feel like we offer hopefully a unique perspective. And I think today was a great example of pulling all of these areas that people don't even imagine work together: mind, muscle, mouth, and medicine.
I totally agree. I think we have so many topics that we can cover to help people in their daily lives.
We look forward to you continuing to watch Mind Your Health.
Looking forward to it.
Exactly. We've got great people to share all of their knowledge.
And it'll be fun.
Exactly. Please contact us also if you have any questions or anything that you would like to learn about. We're always open. We're trying to be interactive and here for you all. So again, David Burke, thank you. Thank all of you for joining us here on Mind Your Health.
Thanks, Claire.
Mind your health.
You got to mind your health.
Mind your health.
Treat yourself. You got to mind your health.
Mind your health, mind your health, mind your health, mind your health. Health, mind your 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 health.